Six planets are about to align in the night sky. July 17, 2026, a once-in-a-lifetime sighting.
But what you've been told about this event isn't quite the full story.
Headlines call it a rare cosmic alignment, but the reality is far more fascinating.
And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly when to look up, where to look, and what you'll actually see.
Let's start with what a planetary parade actually is.
Despite the dramatic name, it is not a rare cosmic alignment where planets gather together in space.
The planets are not arranged shoulder to shoulder across the solar system.
They remain separated by tens of millions to billions of kilometers.
What we're witnessing is a perspective effect created entirely by geometry.
Every major planet orbits the Sun within nearly the same flat plane, a legacy of the rotating cloud of gas and dust from which the solar system formed over 4.5 billion years ago.
That common plane is called the ecliptic.
As Earth continues its own orbit at nearly 67,000 miles per hour, our changing perspective occasionally allows several planets to appear within the same broad region of the sky.
Their apparent grouping is created entirely by geometry rather than by physical proximity.
Understanding that perspective is the key to appreciating what a planetary parade truly represents. Rather than witnessing planets lined up in space, observers are watching the predictable motion of an entire planetary system from one moving world within it.
Let's meet the six planets. Venus will be the undisputed highlight of the event. Brilliantly shining in the western sky shortly after sunset, it will once again dominate the evening twilight as the brightest planet visible from Earth.
On July 17, a slender waxing crescent moon will appear only a few degrees away, creating one of the month's most attractive naked-eye pairings. Saturn rises after midnight and becomes one of the finest telescopic objects of the morning sky. Its magnificent ring system continues to emerge from its recent edge-on orientation, offering increasingly rewarding views through even modest backyard telescopes. Under steady atmospheric conditions, you may also be able to distinguish several of Saturn's largest moons.
Mars climbs into the eastern sky before sunrise, appearing as a distinct reddish-orange point of light.
It's moving through the constellation Taurus all month, passing near the bright star Aldebaran. Jupiter, despite being one of the solar system's brightest planets, will be considerably more difficult to observe. By mid-July it sits extremely low in the western twilight and is rapidly disappearing into the sun's glare as it approaches solar conjunction later in the month.
Mercury presents an even greater challenge.
Having passed between Earth and the Sun on July 12, the innermost planet is transitioning into the morning sky and remains buried in bright twilight. Uranus and Neptune also occupy the pre-dawn sky, but these distant ice giants are far too faint to see without binoculars or a telescope.
Through most amateur instruments, Neptune appears as a tiny bluish point of light.
So six planets are technically in the sky, but they're spread across two different viewing windows.
This is the single most useful piece of information for any skywatcher. Window 1, the evening. Shortly after sunset, look west. Venus dominates the twilight.
A waxing crescent moon joins it on July 17. Jupiter may be visible if you have an exceptionally clear western horizon and begin searching almost immediately after sunset.
Window 2, the pre-dawn hours. Set your alarm. Saturn rises after midnight in the southeast.
By 3 a.m., it creeps up to an altitude of 23 degrees in the morning twilight. Mars appears in the east before sunrise, rising about 2 hours and 20 minutes before the Sun at the start of July.
Uranus and Neptune are also in the pre-dawn sky, requiring binoculars or a telescope. Rather than witnessing six brilliant planets lined up across the evening sky, you'll find that the event unfolds over two different observing windows. Now let's talk about the highlight of the entire event.
On July 17, a 15% lit waxing crescent moon sits just 4.4 degrees from Venus, a tight fit in a binocular field of view. Regulus, Leo's brightest star, is 9 degrees to Venus lower right. The three bodies span over 15 degrees of sky.
But there's something else to look for: earthshine. This is a gentle illumination on the moon's dark portion caused by sunlight reflecting off Earth's oceans, clouds, and land.
It's most noticeable during the next few evenings while the crescent remains thin.
Capture the scene with a tripod-mounted camera or a steady camera phone. Exposures up to a few seconds can record the moon with an overexposed crescent and the beautiful glow of earthshine on the dark side. It's one of the most subtle and beautiful sights in the night sky. A planetary parade is more than a visually appealing celestial event.
It offers a practical opportunity to observe several members of our solar system during a relatively short period of time.
For beginners, these events provide an excellent introduction to planetary observing. Bright worlds like Venus and Saturn can serve as reference points for locating much fainter planets nearby. Experienced astronomers also take advantage of planetary parades.
Observing multiple planets during the same session allows for comparisons of brightness, color, apparent motion, and changing positions against the background stars. These observations reinforce one of the most fundamental principles of astronomy, that the planets are constantly moving, each following its own orbit around the Sun according to the laws of gravity. Events like these remind us that the solar system is not a static collection of worlds frozen in place.
Every planet, including Earth, is continually traveling through space. The planetary parade is simply one moment when Earth's changing vantage point allows us to witness that motion from a unique perspective. Here's your viewing plan for July 17th.
After sunset, look west for Venus and the crescent moon. They'll be visible for about 2 hours after the sun goes down. After midnight, Saturn rises in the southeast, best viewed between 1 a.m. and dawn.
Before dawn, Mars appears in the eastern sky.
Bring binoculars for Uranus and Neptune.
And find a dark sky. Light pollution is your enemy.
Even a modest pair of binoculars will reveal details you can't see with the naked eye.
The planets are not performing for us.
We are simply fortunate enough to witness a small part of their ancient journey from one moving world among many.
Look up on July 17th. You're part of this solar system too.
If you found this helpful, subscribe for more astronomy guides every week.